Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast here on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page. Final game of the regular season, do or die time for the Rooks. Very simple. Either they win tonight, they win the league and they get promoted, or they don't and they do not. I'm Alex Campbell. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page as the Rooks host Rockford FC in this Midwest Premier League Heartland Division II season finale. A quick rundown of the lineups. First for Rockford, it's Kyle Peak in goal. He's joined by number 4, Christian Batangelo, number 9, Sebastian Bougere, number 12, Austin Curtis, number 17, Bob Bertine, number 19, Alicia Lewis, number 20, Raponce Shema, number 39, Amani Amarani, number 43, Elijah Burleson, number 41, Adrian Ramirez, and number 49, Juan Yanid. Meanwhile, for Edgewater Castle, it is an unchanged 11 from the team that lifted the Illinois State Cup last Saturday. I should say it is an unchanged outfield 11. The one change is in goal. Aiden Crawford comes back in for Joey Galante. The back four from right to left, Lucas Sampson, Quentin Benedetto, Rafael Santos, and Roberto Cardano. It's a defensive midfield double pivot of the Allens, Rubio, and Alonso, with Lalo Aguilera, Enzo Degatti, and Andrew Miranda, the attacking midfield band of 3, all in support of number 9, Murtada Camille. We'll figure out the Rockford FC shape as we go along here. Referee checking his watch, checking with the keepers. And we are underway here in Chicago in the West Ridge neighborhood. Underway as Edgewater Castle must win. Rockford, nothing to play for tonight. The wooden spoon in this league was secured long ago by Chicago City Dutch Lions. They are second bottom, though. Our Rockford FC, a record of 3-5-1 on the season. Edgewater, meanwhile, 5-2-2. Enzo Degatti, early chance to get forward. Degatti snatched at that, and he's rolled it wide of the left-hand post of Kyle Peak, the UW Parkside sophomore. Benches for each team. For Rockford, on the bench are Luis Olivares, Dasha Curiel, Joe Prince Matema, and the backup goalkeeper is Beckham Deneau. Given away from distance, pulled wide by Lalo Aguilera. Peak, who did not play his freshman year for the Parkside Rangers. Good crowd here tonight in Chicago. Lots of friends and family. I think we got a few Rockford fans here as well. Seen a few members of the women's team in attendance as well. What a season they had. This has already been quite a summer for Edgewater Castle. Both the men and women winning their first ever state cup titles on Saturday up in Northbrook. Women having also won the UWS National Championship after having won the UWS Central Division. This is sprayed to the near side, looking for the run of Curtis. And then a free kick as down goes Degatti. Rafael Santos, back for Benedetto. Santos, such a versatile player. We've seen him play all across the back line this year. Benedetto whipping a Burleson. Benedetto tangling here with Bougere and winning it. Benedetto from distance. Didn't trouble Peak, but had to go. Rockford looking to play from the back here. Murtada Camille, Edgewater's all-time leading scorer, putting the pressure on and taking that away. Immediately looking to the middle, but played that behind his intended target as Amirani was able to take away, but Benedetto, an easy header down. Only as far though as Yanid. Cardano forced to retreat along with Santos. Made a mess of that, Rafa Santos. And in the end, Alan Alonso has his pocket picked by Bougere. Burleson. Bougere. And now room here for Roberto Cardano to move. He's got Andrew Miranda ahead of him. Cardano back here for Santos. Alonso playing this into space. Lucas Sampson, the former Loras Duhawk, is there. Sampson cutting in. Ball delivered in by Rubio. Headed back toward the middle dangerously, and that shot is saved to his left by Peak. What a hit by Alan Rubio. Still trying to make up for the goal that was taken away from him last weekend, or a week and a half ago now, against RKC Third Coast, where the Rooks had promotion wrapped up only for an absolutely ludicrous offside decision to deny Rubio a double and a 2-0 lead for Edgewater in stoppage time. Of course, RKC went down the other end. They equalized. That match finished 1-1, and that's how we are here today. RKC Third Coast. Plenty of their players and fans, I'm sure, watching this one and rooting on Rockford FC. A win or a draw tonight for Rockford. And RKC Third Coast win the league, and they get promoted to Heartland Conference Division 1. Edgewater must win to top the table and get promoted. Here's Rubio. Cardano with space. Andrew Miranda, who's seen his minutes exponentially increase here late in the season. Guy who was a common substitute and played some fullback even when asked to. And now look at Cardano trying to get behind here. Bertine over. A couple shoulder-to-shoulder challenges, and it's just going to be a goal kick for Peak. Peak, the McChesney Park native. Quickly putting this back in play to Bob Bertine. Bertine ran into some trouble there. Miranda was fouled, and the referee will bring this back for an infraction by Austin Curtis, 2024 Rockford University grad. Made his way around the college game. His senior year was his only year for the Rockford Regents. Played 2 years at Waubonsie Community College, under Rockford coach Brett Suheda, before a single year at Upper Iowa, and then making his way back home, the St. Charles native. Cardano into the area, headed away by Bertine. Bougere trying to turn, and he's taken down by Lucas Sampson. Referee deciding it's too early to award a yellow card for that. Bougere, Rockford native, who went to Rockford East High School. It's a very local Rockford FC team. Over the free kick is the assistant coach and captain. Big night for him, Christian Batangolo. This is Christian's final game for Rockford FC, having been with the club since its founding in 2020, or at least its first participation with a men's first team, as Cardano's going to chase this down. He's got Camille in the middle. Just ahead of Camille, and Batangolo is over. Only as far though as Amirani, who's in some trouble here. Amirani, Chicago State Cougar, out wide for Lewis. Alicia Lewis, a Rockford U23 player called up for tonight, and Peak wasn't ready for that. It's the first Edgewater corner of the night. But Batangolo, who Played 36 games, all starts in 2 years at the University of St. Francis in Joliet after graduating from Guilford High School. His number 4, is being retired by Rockford FC. Quite an honor, and speaks to how formative he's been to the early years of this club. This is swung in, headed down by Burleson. Only as far as Alan Alonso sends this back into the air. Murtada Camille flicking it on, giving and going, and Batongalo away. Almost 9 minutes gone here at Loyola. 0-0, Edgewater and Rockford. One team playing for promotion, one team playing spoiler. Edgewater Castle FC looking to cap off a magical summer. It's a good ball down the far side towards Bougere, but just overcooked off the foot of Shema. Raponce Shema, who played at Rock Valley College, along with a couple other players on the pitch tonight in black. Rubio. Roberto Cardano, veteran left back, seeing a lot of the ball so far in tonight's match. Rockford FC happy to defend in this mid-block. Did not get to the bench earlier for Edgewater. It's Joey Galante, the backup goalkeeper. Amir Abdullah, center back. Midfielder Daryl Tercios. Midfielder Andres Rocha. Striker Kudus Lawal. Midfielder Franco Sovero. Center back Nicholas Kanzak. Striker Milos Vucic. And striker David Balase. So there are attacking options certainly on the bench for Edgewater if they need to force the issue at some point. Alonso on the spin. Aguilera taken away by Bougere, looking to go the other way. Bougere out wide. Ramirez leaving Degatti behind. Adrian Ramirez into the middle of the park finding Yanid. And anywhere will do here for Cardano. Just boots it out far side for a throw. And a quick shot from distance comes in. It's the first save of the night for Aiden Crawford, the rising redshirt junior here at Loyola. He'll be back out here at Hoyne Field in just a matter of weeks as the Ramblers get their season back underway. Santos. Good step there by Lewis. And got a man down behind the play. It's Austin Curtis holding his knee. I didn't see anything happen there, and this would not be good for Rockford as Curtis is down, immediately holding his right knee. And I didn't see any contact here, so this is never a good sign. You've got a non-contact knee injury here in the 12th minute. Not a whole lot of options on the bench tonight for Rockford FC. Just 3 outfield players. Although, I'm going to correct that. I think it's just 1 outfield player. 2 guys didn't have numbers listed, and I thought that was strange. Looking over to the Rockford bench, the only people I see are Beckham Deneau, the backup goalkeeper. And Joe Prince Mtema, who has just gone to warm up. Mtema, 18-year-old Rockford under-23 player. And so this is a worst-case scenario here tonight for Rockford, as the referee's going to wave everybody off because, again, you don't want to speculate on how serious these things are, but you've seen things like this before, and it's often not good. So all the best to Austin Curtis, and hopefully this is less serious than it appears, as we're already going to see an ample amount of stoppage time here in the first half of this one. And I hope for Rockford's sake that the reason Luis Olivares and Dasha Curiel had their names on the substitute bench on the team sheet is that they are running late and en route, because they might need them. This looks like it's going to mean that Rockford is out of outfield players other than everybody who will be on the field. A nice round of applause here for Austin Curtis. And he's walking okay right now, but we'll see if he's able to continue. You'd have to assume they're going to make the one sub they can here. And the referee calling everybody back out. Let's see if Curtis is going to try to give this a go. He's going to give it a quick warm-up. Looks like he's going to try to stay out there, but something to keep an eye on if he does go back on the field, because we've all, I imagine, seen the situation where a player gets tended to, looks okay after an injury stoppage, goes back out there, and 30 seconds later is just sitting down asking to be subbed out. So this will add by itself a good 3 minutes to the end of this half. Curtis will start at midfield when play resumes, waiting for the referee to wave him back on. Lewis looking to line up the throw-in. Sends a looping one into the penalty area. Benedetto got bumped, and now here's Curtis back on the field getting a quick touch. Taken away, though, by Lucas Sampson. Enzo DeGotti. Rooks looking to get their possession shape back, and not to say I called it, but Austin Curtis has gone right back down. Play's going to continue for now, but that's going to be it looks like, for Austin Curtis. Murtada Camille along the end line. Sampson, got to be careful here. All the way back for Benedetto. Referee says no foul there. And now Cardano. Cardano all the way across. That's headed away by Burleson. And let's see if Rockford elect to try to counter here. If they're just going to play this ball out, they will play it out. And that is going to be that. Really too bad that Austin Curtis is not going to be able to continue in this match. And again, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Substitution for Rockford FC, leaving the match number 12, Austin Curtis. Replaced by number 47, Joe Prince Mtema. So Mtema comes on and goes right into that right wing position. And as of right now, the 10 players out there for Rockford, besides the goalkeeper, that's all they've got. Beckham Deneau, the backup goalkeeper on the bench, currently the only other available player for the visitors. Edgewater Castle, as I noted, with a full bench tonight, and a particularly attacking one at that. Cardano thought about the big crossfield ball in the direction of Aguilera. Santos. Benedetto scored the winner in the State Cup final in stoppage time. Followed a penalty kick that he took, and that was saved, but Just a nice, easy finish on the rebound, chipping it over the goalkeeper. Benedetto sending this long. Good header away there by Bertine. And now a chase to the corner being led by Burleson. Taken away, though, by Lalo. Degatti, bouncing ball. Murtada Camille couldn't quite handle it. Burleson. Ramirez trying to turn. Benedetto a good step. And still Benedetto goes on. Still Benedetto, the center back down the far side. Benedetto, low ball in. Pinballs off of Aguilera last. It's a goal kick. Again, Rockford looking to play out from the back here. Lewis. Amrani dropping into the back line there. Now Batangalo. Amrani. Lewis. Of course, the longer tonight's game stays 0-0, the nervier it becomes for Edgewater Castle. It has been 4 years since the Rooks beat Rockford. Lewis. Through the lines, Santos. And now here's Enzo Degatti. Murtada Camille able to turn. Murtada, not a whole lot ahead of him. He's tripped up right on the edge of the center circle. Free kick for Edgewater, which is taken very quickly. Alan Alonso, Alan Rubio. Degatti. Degatti got past one, but did not get past the challenge of Shema and then committed a foul of his own. Heartland Conference Division 1 will be decided this weekend. If RWB Adria beat Green Bay Glory, Adria will be champions. If Chicago House get a better result at relegated and with 0 points Charny Yazvo than Adria get against Green Bay, then Chicago House will win the league and would be their first Midwest Premier League title. House lead on goal differential, but the first tiebreaker in the Midwest Premier League is points against each other, and Adria hold that tiebreaker against House. Benedetto. Degatti dropping deep. Patience certainly going to be a virtue tonight for the Rooks. Lucas Sampson on the wide right side. Degatti, nice backheel flick back for Sampson. That's a really good challenge in the end by Ramirez to break that up. And a chance to counter now for Rockford. Here's Bougere. Not a whole lot ahead of him. Catching up, this is Adrian Ramirez. Ramirez, a former Dundee Crown High School and Rockford Raptors player. Lewis. Amrani from distance. Worth a shot, I suppose. No trouble for Aiden Crawford. To the middle, given away. DeGotti. Getting a touch there was Mtema, but Rooks keep possession. Burleson down the far side. Bougere chasing. Santos does the same thing back to Aiden Crawford, who just sends that long. Edgewater struggled a bit through the early stages of the State Cup as well, but settled in and won that game 2-1. But again, credit to the defensive structure of Rockford FC, really compressing the space in the center of the field. Was Rubio fouled? No, says the referee. Can you hear Quentin Benedetto directing traffic? Batangalo. On the Rockford sideline, Austin Curtis trying to stay loose. Maybe we'll give this another go. Amrani taken away by Enzo DeGotti. Here's Enzo. 1-on-3 at the moment. DeGotti edge of the area, rides the challenge. Still Enzo. Crossing to the middle. Header bounces around. Could fall for Murtada Camille. That's blocked. Alonso. Rubio. Options ahead. Rubio. DeGotti. Aguilera. Sliding challenge went in. Free kick. It's Amani Amrani, the guilty party. Was a bit in slow motion. It was awkward by the captain on the night for Rockford. And now a dangerous set piece position for Edgewater. Lalo Aguilera and Enzo DeGotti stand over this. For what it's worth, there's a pretty stiff breeze at the backs of Edgewater in this first half. 5 men in the wall for Rockford. It will be Lalo! Skims the crossbar. Appreciative applause from the Edgewater crowd. Kyle Peak was not getting there no matter what. That was a pretty beautifully struck ball in the end. Just not quite enough curve or dip. Batangalo looking long. Bougere on the chase up against Benedetto. Benedetto recovered well, but gave it away to Ramirez. Good challenge, Lucas Sampson. Sampson's pulled back. And still no yellow cards in the game. Referee avoiding breaking anything out yet. Alonso, DeGotti. Enzo with some space here. Alan Rubio, Miranda, Roberto Cardano. Alan Rubio. Alonso, Camille, bouncing ball. Murtada and DeGotti ran into each other. And now Bouger unable to get clear. Lalo Aguilera through one challenge, and then Bitangalo anywhere will do. Benedetto rises highest, as he often does, to win the header. Alonso through the lines, looking for Murtada Camille. That's well defended in the end by Bob Bertine. Feels like the Rooks, though, are getting closer. Rockford are on a 3-match losing streak. They are winless in 4. That streak, a 1-0 loss at Strikers Fox Valley, a 7-0 loss at RKC Third Coast, and 3-0 at Steel City. DeGotti couldn't quite get there. It's a goal kick. 3-0 at home versus Steel City, I should say. Their last wins back-to-back, 8-0 and 4-1 against Chicago City Dutch Lions. Their only other win this season, 3-1 at home against Edgewater Castle. Bouncing ball. Alan Alonso got out of the way of a challenge. It's a high foot there, and now the first yellow card comes out because that was late. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 30th minute to Rockford FC number 47, Joe Prince Mtema. So the most recent addition to the match becomes the first one in the book. Rafa Santos. Been a hazy day here in Chicago. Air quality not great. Canadian wildfire smoke again rearing its head this summer. Benedetto's in some trouble here and barely got away with that from Bouger. It's the kind of thing tonight that Edgewater just can't afford. Silly mistakes that concede easy chances. Alan Rubio. That was left short of Cardano, and now Mtema room to run. Mtema strikes that off Cardano, and Aiden Crawford plenty of room to maneuver. 31 minutes into this first half, 0-0. Edgewater have hit the crossbar. Besides that, not much of a threat from either team so far. Edgewater needing a win tonight to win the second division of the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference and get promoted to the first tier for next summer. Bertine, Lewis. Bitangalo, lots of space. Burleson. Down the line. Giving chase here is Ramirez. Ramirez past Sampson, but not past Benedetto. Rockford throw. And now a potentially dangerous free kick for the visitors. First real opportunity like this we've seen for them tonight. Kudus Lawal getting loose there on the sideline for Edgewater. The Nigerian striker. Meanwhile, it's Bitangalo, center back, who's going to serve this in. Bitangalo's delivery bounces and is punched away by Crawford and then cleared by Murtada Camille. Good goalkeeping there by the Edgewater number 0. Santos wins that header. Bouger tripped on the ball, but had the awareness to get this to Lewis. Lewis launching into the middle. Benedetto hammering away. Good step there by Miranda. And now here's Lewis. Trying to stride through challenges. It's going to fall here outside for Mtema. Mtema's cross. Benedetto's header. Miranda. Alonso. Edgewater still got to be careful here. Lalo Aguilera, that's off of Burleson and out for a goal kick. Best period of the match for Rockford FC, and I think we just got a lightning warning. We'll have to hear from the sideline what the specific reason for the stoppage is, but my guess is the referee has just stopped the match due to lightning in the area here in the 35th minute. But we'll get confirmation of that as soon as we can. The air quality has gone over a certain number. Wow, I would have never thought, but so the air quality has gotten worse over the course of the game, and now this really presents a situation where who knows how long this could be stopped. This might not be a situation that's going to get a whole lot better anytime soon. My phone currently tells me it is a 160 air quality index here right now, which is in the unhealthy zone. I'll have to check. Does the air, maybe the air quality just necessitates a water break, or does it necessitate stopping the match? So a correction here, this works, my mistake, this works like a hydration break. So the ref's going to call the guys back out. So poor air quality has the same regulation as excessive heat. I mean, you might not be able to see it on the camera, but it's visibly hazy here in Chicago. We've mercifully finally had the temperatures here cool off after basically a month straight of pretty brutal humidity, only to be met by this. So the stoppage time at the end of this half, we've at least had 5 minutes between an injury and that break. Daryl Turcios has joined Kudus Lawal warming up for Edgewater. And Sampson taken down. Another free kick for Edgewater. Murtada Camille. Lalo through the lines. Look at Sampson sprinting down the far side. Sampson crossing just too far. As crashing in were both Miranda and Camille. Turning back here, this is Yanis. Nice spin there by Ramirez. As the ball trickles along the end line and eventually goes out of play for a Rockford throw. in the 39th minute of what's going to be at least, I would think, a 50-minute opening half. Sampson. Given away. Big thing for Edgewater tonight is they cannot allow themselves to be frustrated by the game not going their way. Sampson and Benedetto tackled each other there. There's a Rockford man down behind the play. Bougere playing this back for Shema. Amrani. That's blocked by Santos. Now Mtema up against Cardano. Players not on the same page. Now Enzo Degatti leaving it for Andrew Miranda. Trying to go back for Enzo Degatti. Long run here. Lewis getting back. And it's an Edgewater throw. Miranda trying to turn. Dispossessed. Cleared out for another Edgewater throw. Edgewater going to make a double substitution. Substitutions for Edgewater Castle. Leaving the match, number 9, Murtada Camille. And number 22, Alan Rubio. Entering the match, number 8, Daryl Tercios. And number 13, Kudus Lawal. So it's a change up top as Lawal replaces Camille. And it's a slightly more progressive attacking option, I'd say, overall in midfield. Tercios for Rubio. Tercios more of an 8, as the number on his back suggests, to Rubio, who's more of a 6. And then just something different leading the attack in the form of Lawal. Lawal, who Edgewater discovered playing for Gazelle, a team they played in the State Cup as Benedetto was down. Convinced Kudus to sign up for the Rooks instead. And Benedetto went down hard here. Rooks do have Amir Abdullah on the bench, Loyola center back. Wind is whipping around a bit here in Chicago, now coming basically straight out of the west. That's from the far side to the near side as you look on the stream. Shema for Rockford. And Mtema, no one there, but now Lewis is onto it. Lewis, too far, and scooped up by Aiden Crawford. Rooks looking to quickly go in transition before Rockford can get set in that mid-block we've seen all night. That's a good challenge by Bitangalo. Given right back away, though. Nice step in by Tercios. Daryl Tercios, UIC Flame. Rising junior. Santos. Lucas Sampson. Edgewater throw right on halfway. Chance here for Bougere to try to turn. Another good foot in, though, by Alan Alonso as the Flames midfielders combine, Alonso and Tercios. Now Andrew Miranda. First touch for Kudus Lawal. Left it behind Cardano. Tercios right down the middle, wanted the run from midfield of Alonso, wasn't there. Bertin Floating this into the middle of the field. Yanis. Ramirez. Ramirez goes down. Referee not interested in any potential foul. 44th minute, but again, I would think we should get at least 5 minutes of added time. Alonso got to be careful. It's an Edgewater throw. Tercios here for Cardano. It's kind of been a bit of a dead end for the Rooks. Cardano gets on the ball and Miranda's tucking inside a lot of the time. There's not been a whole lot of width out here. This is chipped into space for Lawal to chase. Lewis timed his challenge well and concedes the throw. Quickly back in play, Lalo Aguilera. Tercios. Tercios. Roberto Cardano, good crossing position. Lawal poked it wide, and that ball's going to bounce up and then away by Ramirez. Not sure if it was going on target at first, but bounced off target in the end. Lucas Sampson goes down, no foul. And that is a corner kick for Edgewater. Waiting for the referee to indicate how many minutes we'll play extra at the end of the first half. First delivery from Enzo Degatti. Right across the face of goal. Benedetto came closest in the end. It's a goal kick, and there's a man down in the goal mouth for Rockford, who've already lost one player to injury tonight and don't have any more reserves. And whatever the stoppage time number was going to be, that number is now climbing. It's Bitangalo, and certainly he wouldn't want his Rockford FC career to end by leaving a match injured. Still no signal from the referee how many extra minutes we're going to play. Six extra minutes, I've been told. Fans, the referee has indicated a minimum of 6 minutes will be played at the end of the first half. But there was about a minute burned there, so I bet it's going to be, well, it should be at least more like 7 at this point. Cardano played that into a crowd. Yanis trying to get out of trouble. Juan Yanis. Cardano poking it back for Santos, who will reset with Aiden Crawford. Zero-zero here late in the first half. In a game Edgewater Castle have no choice but to win. Crawford looking long and fighting Kudus Lawal. Lawal has help here from Cardano. Cardano, first time cross, free header, what a save! What a save, Kyle Peak. He had a pretty good one earlier, that's even better. 2 big stops in the first half for the Rockford keeper. Chance not gone, chip to the middle, that's over everyone. And away by Lewis. What a save by Kyle Peak. Free header for Daryl Tercios. He put it in the corner, and Peak got a fingertip to it. That's chipped to the far side. Burleson, Tercios, Degatti. Some momentum here for Edgewater as that's out for a throw. Could be 1 or 2-0 to Edgewater if not for Peak. Low in, flicked on, Kudus Lawal trying to turn, lines it up for Aguilera, and a foul first. There was a collision between Miranda and I think that's Bertine. Edgewater fans unsurprisingly disagree with the whistle. Certainly bumps and bruises, though, in this first half for Rockford. Again, Kyle Peak redshirted his freshman year for UW Parkside, showing why maybe the Rangers should give him a serious look this year. Lawal got ahead to that. Yanis. Amrani. And now Alicia Lewis looking long. Santosh did enough. Boucher not happy. He hasn't had much service in this one tonight. Santosh. Alonso. Cardano. Lalo Aguilera immediately turning and finding Andrew Miranda. Inside here, Tercios. Tercios, first-time ball. Burleson, only as far as Enzo. Here's Enzo Degatti. Degatti tried to feed it through for Miranda, who couldn't quite sort his feet out. Goal kick. As we hit 5 minutes of the minimum of 6 at the end of the first half. Miranda got a foot to that loose ball, but in the end it's just going to be a Rockford throw. Degatti dropping deep. Benedetto ahead. Lawal just too strong for Tercios, who slid in and collided a bit awkwardly there with Burleson. Away by Bitangalo. Miranda chipping that forward. Lawal over to help. Kudus Lawal. Leaving it for Cardano. Miranda. Edgewater throw. We're into a 7th minute now of time added on at the end of the first half. Tercios trying to flick it to himself, and he did. And then good job by Lewis to recover, but now he's got to get out of trouble. But the referee will blow his whistle for the end of the first half. It is 0-0 here at Loyola. Edgewater Castle have 45 more minutes to find the goal or goals necessary to achieve promotion. At the half, the score is Edgewater Castle FC 0, Rockford FC 0. We'll take a break here on the stream here on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page. 0-0 at the break. Can the Rooks get it done in the second half? Second half about to get underway here in Chicago. Edgewater Castle 0, Rockford FC 0. The Rooks must win to win the league and be promoted to the top tier of the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference. They've made a substitute at halftime trying to do just that. Andrew Miranda is off. Milos Vucic is on. A draw and a loss are essentially the same tonight for Edgewater, so they've got to go for it. Meanwhile, on the other side for Rockford FC, who's out there is all they've got other than a backup goalkeeper. And they have switched goalkeepers at halftime, which is interesting given how good Kyle Peak was in that first half, but I can understand giving Beckham Deneau a minute, or I should say a half, given that he's here and that given this game doesn't mean anything to Rockford. Halftime substitutions. First for Rockford FC, leaving the match number 0, Kyle Peak, replaced by number 52, Beckham Deneau. For Edgewater Castle, leaving the match number 25, Andrew Miranda, replaced by number 29, Milos Vucic. So it's an extra striker in Vucic, the 3-time Montenegrin Domestic League champion. On a run here goes Benedetto. That's cleared only as far as Lalo Aguilera, and now Lucas Sampson. Possession certainly favored Edgewater in the first half. I imagine that scale is going to tilt even further in this second half. Here's Kudus Lawal, Enzo Degatti. Again, nothing for Rockford in this game, no matter what. It is interesting to see Kyle Peak go off. He made 2 excellent saves in that first half, particularly one on a header from Tercios. Lot to live up to. Vucic! His first involvement is a shot right at Deneau. Deneau on his way to UW Whitewater this fall. Recent graduate of Beloit Memorial High School in Beloit, Wisconsin, just over the Illinois-Wisconsin border, a short jaunt straight north of Rockford. Sampson, space to turn and go. 5 in the attack for Edgewater, and Sampson turns it over with a poor ball to the middle as Raponce Shema easily able to pick that up. Rooks have to be patient, both in terms of the fact that they can't get too frustrated and because Rockford have no subs and the Rooks have plenty. So eventually the visitors are just going to tire. Tercios, Vucic. Vucic, native of Nikšić, Montenegro. Floated to the far side. Kudus Lawal coming in. Lawal crossing back, headed down. And Alicia Lewis finding the feet of Shema. And now Lewis under some pressure from Roberto Cardano. Got to be careful here, Lewis. And he'll just launch that upfield to relative safety. Still on the bench for Edgewater. Backup keepers Joey Galante. Center back Amir Abdullah. Midfielder Andres Rocha. Midfielder Franco Sovero. Center back Nicholas Kanzak. Forward David Balasse. Edgewater will need a hero tonight. If there's one, they'll write their names into Rooks history. Sampson was pulled back there. Referee, though, saw nothing wrong with it. And Sampson gets a foot in there, slipped on the ball. No one able to get control. Degatti was taken down. Lalo Aguilera, Vucic got under it. Milos Vucic had a tough ending, I should say, to the last home game against RKC Third Coast when the Rooks were just chasing a winner to get promotion then. Had a couple of good looks that just could not find the back of the net. And now Beckham Deneau is going to launch, or at least say he's going to launch this forward after Peak spent the first half playing everything short. Yanis. Benedetto jumping with Bougere, and it's a free kick for Rockford, but it's Benedetto who's down in some pain. And Edgewater making the point that if one player, particularly the one in front of the defender, doesn't jump, it's supposed to be a foul on the attacker. Some soccer fans might know this is the Harry Kane rule. Benedetto, you could argue, did jump over the top of Bougere initially, and that's certainly the way the ref saw it, rather than Bougere intentionally avoiding jumping. Set piece opportunity, though, early in the second half for Rockford to be sent forward by Amani Amarani. And it's claimed easily by Aiden Crawford. Crawford always wants to go quickly, and this time he finds Lalo Aguilera. Lalo striding past a challenge. Out wide, Kudus Lawal. First time ball forward. Roberto Cardano racing it to the sideline. He won't get there. It's a goal kick. Nice idea. Lawal, though, just playing it too far for Cardano as Rockford restart quickly. RKC Third Coast rooting for a Rockford result tonight. Should specify it's RKC Third Coast 2, their men's second team, their first team play in USL League 2. Trying to get promoted. Lalo Aguilera! That knuckled badly on Deneau, and he did really well just to get his body in front of that shot and make sure it didn't trickle underneath him. But RKC Third Coast 2 trying to get promoted to the top tier of the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference. It's one out of the air, but Yanis is onto this loose ball. Well done, though, by Rafa Santos. Tercios, Cardano, sending it down the far side. On the turn, this is Lalo Aguilera. Lalo spinning. A little too lackadaisical there, but the Rooks get it right back. Alonso gave that away. Here's Adrian Ramirez, and that is a long ball to no one. That offside call against RKC Third Coast, against Edgewater late on last time at home, looming very large right now. The Rooks want it to not matter. They hope at the end of the night they've got 3 points, and that's enough to top the table. Alonso, Degatti knocked it forward but didn't keep possession. Bitangalo's got to be careful here, in big trouble, and eventually does well to get that out to Burleson. Burleson is fouled and a free kick. High five between Burleson and Degatti after that coming together. Bitangalo goes long. It's over Benedetto, and Bougere will chase. Rafa Santos is there as well. Ball rolling to the corner. Still in play, and it's a foul by Bougere. Benedetto started that quickly. I'm not sure Lucas Sampson was ready for it. I'm not sure it was a good idea. Alan Alonso got to be careful, and eventually does find Sampson. Benedetto lets that roll out for a goal kick. Quickly restarted by Crawford. Santos. Vucic. Alonso was looking wide for the wall. That was blocked. Amirani. Back for Burleson. On the turn, Yanis. And now space for Alicia Lewis. It's blocked at the play by Cardano. Rockford FC, though, in a position to help determine who's promoted this season, even though they have not been in the race for promotion for some time. Good step by Benedetto. Tercios. Benedetto gets there and then isn't on the same page with Degatti as this ball will slowly trickle to the corner, but Bitangelo forced to play it. Turning in possession, Bougere. Well done. Loose touch, though. Tercios got a foot in. Vucic tried to poke it back to him. Kudus Lawal. Alan Alonso. Nowhere to go for Alonso. Yanis got a foot in, and now Alan Alonso gets a yellow card for pulling him back. Rooks think that's a bit soft. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 56th minute to Edgewater Castle number 27, Alan Alonso. First Rooks player to be booked. Joe Prince Mtema, the only man in the book for Rockford. Not ideal to have your number 6 on a yellow card, especially in a game where, as things stand, Edgewater are in a position to just keep adding attackers to the field, and Alonso is going to be asked to cover more and more ground. Good step there by Burleson to dispossess Degatti. Ramirez, back to Burleson. And now Bougere. Amirani. Burleson. Out wide looking for Ramirez, not on the same page. Out for a throw. Andres Rocha out to warm up on the Edgewater bench right now. Diminutive attacking midfielder. Lifted long, Vucic out jumped. Cardano. Sending this toward the near side in the vicinity of Degatti, just too high. Tercios. Good step by Amirani. And then a foul by Aguilera. Bitangelo wanted to go short, but nothing really there. Already Rockford in no hurry to take these set pieces. Bitangelo lifting it toward the far side of the area, and that is headed straight behind by Mtema. Out for an Edgewater goal kick. Lucas Sampson, Degatti racing to keep this in play. He does not. And all of these little stoppages just add up. And Edgewater already feel like they're fighting the clock a bit here. Good step by Aguilera. Lalo Aguilera, Milos Vucic had it knocked off his foot. Lawal. Out wide, here's Cardano. Aguilera back for Cardano. Has men in the middle if he can cross it in. Nothing there right now, though. Rafa Santos. That's blocked right back. Santos got to be careful, as does Benedetto. And able to turn Alan Alonso. Aguilera, straight ball over the top, too far. Again, the Rooks cannot allow frustration to set in. Alonso, DeGotti. And again, just giving away. This is part of the problem when you've got all these attackers on the field together. Referee says that's no foul. Is you've got a lot of guys who kind of do their own thing and are maybe more individual players. And it's not always easy to get those guys to work as a group, especially when they're not all used to really ever being on the field at the same time. We've got 2 strikers out there right now. 3 other pretty outright attackers. Here's one of them, Lalo Aguilera, has options ahead of him. Lalo for DeGotti, Enzo DeGotti. DeGotti, that's a handball! That's a handball! And DeGotti's down behind the play. And for the second week in a row, we have some controversy. And the clock is stopped at 60. And so ref hasn't noticed yet. Sent long by Deneau. Could say it bounced up in a natural position, but DeGotti was right there. And even in that case, if it interferes with an attacker's ability to play the ball, should be given. Once again, cannot allow it to build frustration. Here's Enzo DeGotti for Edgewater. DeGotti. Enzo onto his left. Enzo lining up a shots right to Deneau. Cardano just turns and hammers that back upfield. Vucic putting some pressure here on Deneau. Lewis did not keep that in. He did not keep that ball in, and I think it was the 4th official in the end who made the call. And now the referee is going to walk over and give a yellow card to the bench of Rockford. A yellow card caution has been shown in the 63rd minute to the Rockford FC bench. Lawal tried to get there. Lalo, DeGotti, and Zoe! And that will usher in a hydration break. The Rooks have less than 30 minutes to find a promotion-achieving goal. Feels like they're getting closer over the last 5 or 10 minutes. Looks like Andres Rocha is going to come into this game for Edgewater. Player who will certainly be helpful in building a low block. Fans, visit our Castle Florist Helpful Hummingbird at the vendor market to purchase ECFC carnations. Hold on to them until the end of the match so you can shower our players with flowers. Can the Rooks find the goal they need? Rocha's not actually going to come in quite yet. He'll keep warming up, though. Again, it's pretty simple. Edgewater win. They win the second division of the Heartland Conference, and they get promoted. Any other result, and it's RKC Third Coast 2 who are moving up. Sharney Yazvo and DeKalb County United are the two teams on their way down. Believe there's a new team being added to the league next year, which is why it's asymmetric in the promotions and relegations. Danu didn't get all of that one. It's going to bounce kindly, though, for Yanis anyway. Sliding in was Degati. Alonso, Vucic. Vucic wide, here's Lucas Sampson. Sampson trying to use his speed. Up against Burleson. Sampson to the end line. Sampson's cross, it's there in the 6-yard box and poked away by Bertine. Good, calm defending by the Rockford center back. It's going to be a corner kick. Degati to take. Degati swings it in, headed goalwards and in! Is that the goal? It's Daryl Tercios who scored it, and Edgewater have the lead they needed. Goal for the Rooks, scored in the 67th minute by number 8, Daryl Tercios. Tercios, who's been so good in the latter stages of this season, left alone on the corner kick. Great delivery by Enzo Degati. The assist to number 11, Enzo Degati. So what does this do to this game now? Rockford FC with nothing to play for and no subs, having conceded. They've been pretty content, again, to play in that mid-block, to play without the ball, but now they're trailing. How's that going to change things? Degati was pulled back there. No foul, though, says the referee. The Rooks also have to keep their heads. Bougere. Bougere, shooting chance. Closed down in the end by Rafa Santos. Tercios, a little time to turn. And that's just given away by Lalo Aguilera. Bougere ran into Santos again. Alan Alonso. Near side, here's Enzo Degati. Daryl Tercios potentially scoring the most important goal in the history of Edgewater Castle FC's men's team. That title probably currently held by Quentin Benedetto from 5 days ago. Here is Benedetto. Sure, he'd be happy, though, to give up that title for what it's worth. Cleared to the sideline. Cardano slid in and got there. Really well done by Roberto Cardano. Cardano in his 4th season as a Rook. Down the far side, that's a good header one there by Lewis, but only as far as, I think that was Lalo. No, excuse me, that was Cardano getting forward. Edgewater want a second. They want breathing room and they want to exhale. They want to celebrate tonight. Enzo Degati. Enzo, Kudus Lawal unmarked right now, and that's where Enzo's going. Lawal into his stride. Kudus squares. Bertin clears. Tercios. That's out for a corner, and Lalo Aguilera is down. Rocha would be a pretty like-for-like replacement if Edgewater do elect to now make that change. Edgewater scoring on their last corner. It'll be Milos Vucic to take this one. Vucic, high, looping to the near side. Benedetto across goal, and then flicked away. It was Amirani who got the clearing touch. Back across by Cardano. Here's Vucic. Vucic to the middle. Didn't get the pass quite right for Aguilera. Degatti with a bit of pressure on his back here. Does the safe thing and sends Santos in retreat. Long ball to the near side. Lawal up against Bitangalo. Lawal winning possession. Kudus Lawal. Back for Lucas Sampson. Does Doigu Erdogan start going to the bench just to get fresh legs? So many of these guys out here, though, are guys who have been on the field for most of the season. Or certainly down the stretch have become the preferred group. Benedetto. And again, you feel for Rockford FC. They just don't have any legs. They don't have subs. And with nothing to play for, you can only ask for them to push so hard to try to win this game. As much as all the RKC Third Coast players, coaches, and fans who I'm sure are watching would like them to really give this a go. Launched long by Danu. Santos won the header initially. Alan Alonso didn't get it clear. Bougere, loose touch. He's been so isolated tonight, the number 9 for Rockford. He's given it a good effort, but just tough task. Unable to settle that down is Bertin. Alonso still standing next to the Edgewater, not Alonso, Rocha still standing next to the Edgewater coaches. Benedetto, straight ball, Alonso. Cleared away. Ramirez missed it. Gets it back though off Sampson. And that is a Rockford throw. Ramirez took a knock, a bit slow to get up. Roach is going to replace Kudus Lawal. Not surprising that the Rooks are going to go away from the two-striker look now that they have the lead. But first, some defending to do. Santos. Enzo Degatti, that's trouble. Santos bails him out. Cardano. Daryl Tercios. Currently the promotion goal scorer. Degatti finding himself in a left-back area. Crawford with time, and now Benedetto here as we head toward the 74th minute of play. Edgewater in the lead. An anxious buzz has given way to a tense quiet here in the stands at Loyola. Nice first touch with his chest by Enzo. Really feels like the crowd would only go to celebration mode if Edgewater scored a second. Kudus Lawal really waving for the ball here on the near side. Both because he's in some space and also he might know he's about to be subbed out. Tercios. Far side, Enzo Degatti. Degatti, first time crossed ball. Gets through here to Bitangalo. Got to be careful, Bitangalo. He's pulled back by Cardano. And here comes an Edgewater sub if the referee notices that there's a sub, which he hasn't. Pitangalo, again in his final game for Rockford FC, a club legend, the center back and assistant coach. And again, now this time, the foul's given against Bougere. Again, Harry Kane rule. Referee saying, I think you did that intentionally to not jump, and thus that's a foul on you. And now here is that substitution. Substitution for Edgewater Castle, leaving the match, number 13, Kudus Lawal. Entering the match, number 10, Andres Rocha. Rocha, the Colombia native, who I'll always associate with maybe the loudest goal call I've ever done. It was an Edgewater game at the Fire Pitch. On his debut as a teenager, came in and scored a last-minute winner. Enzo Degatti. Enzo, still Enzo. Enzo to the middle. No one there. Bertin finding Ramirez. Rocha got a foot in. Ramirez did well to hold him off. Amarani, Burleson. Amadi Amarani. Bougere dropping deep to try to help. And then Lucas Sampson just can't handle that one. Less than 15 minutes plus stoppage time separating the Rooks from promotion. Rockford FC with that much time to spoil the party here in Chicago. Foul by Rocha. Bertin. Looking long to the near side. This is Bougere now playing out on this left wing. Again, just trying to get more involved. Away by Alan Alonso. Pitangalo for Bertin. Putting his body in the way was Tercios. Rocha. Referee says no as everybody kind of just stopped there for a second. Enzo. Andres Rocha. Said at the State Cup final that Andres Rocha is 5'7" in the same way Lionel Messi is. Nice work on the far side, Lalo Aguilera. Lalo dancing on the ball. Enzo Degatti. Enzo back to goal, trying to just hand it off. Rocha got a foot in the way of the clearance. And now Bougere trying to turn. Lucas Sampson in the way. Murtada Camille currently in discussion with the Edgewater coaching staff. Haven't seen a lot really from Milos Vucic when he's been in this game tonight. I'd assume Murtada's going to come back in for him. And certainly if the Rooks are to get promoted tonight, you want Murtada Camille, a certified legend, an Edgewater original, to be on the field when it happens. And that's just, I think, an act of frustration there as Bob Bertin goes in the book. A yellow card caution has been given in the 78th minute to Rockford FC, number 14, Bob Bertin. Bertin, the second Rockford FC player in the book. And a chance for Andres Rocha. And referee, I think, is asking if the substitution is going to be made now or later. Don't know where Vucic is going. Is he just going to go off the field on this side? Clearly not happy about being substituted and now being escorted out by the ref. This is he's going straight to the locker room. This is not what you want to see from Milos Vucic. Not even going to go back to the bench because he's frustrated that he's being taken out of this match. On what should be a celebratory evening, that's, just got to say, it's not being a great teammate. Substitution for Edgewater Castle, leaving the match, number 29, Milos Vucic. Entering the match, number 9, Murtada Camille. Into the area, Murtada jumping for it, loose ball. Enzo. DeGotti, was he fouled? No. Still Enzo. Burleson did well. Sampson there to help. Burleson pokes it on. Yanis around Rocha. And that's well blocked by Alan Alonso. And then now, this is interesting, we see Bougere has been pulled back. Yellow card is out. It's to Rafa, is it to Rafa Santos or Lucas Sampson? We're going to check on that. It is Santos. He goes in the book for the tactical yellow. Yellow card caution has been issued in the 80th minute to Edgewater Castle number 6, Rafael Santos. 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Rockford, set piece opportunity to potentially deliver a backbreaker. Amani Amrani. And the referee does not like some of the pushing and shoving, as there's just a whole pile of players there on the far side of the penalty area. Camille and Bitangolo were the two who were on the receiving end of the referee's commentary there. Amrani sends it in low. Dummied. DeGotti slipped, and then Cardano cleared. Andres Rocha's there first. Busting an absolute gut is Alan Alonso, and he's going to get there. Here's Alan Alonso. Alonso squaring. Oh, what a defending move, and it goes in. It's an own goal. Murtada Camille was there. It's 2-0 Edgewater. Are the Rooks going up? Goal for the Rooks, an own goal, scored in the 82nd minute, assisted by number 27, Alan Alonso. 2-0 Edgewater. We're going to get another hydration break late on here. The referee has signaled for a second hydration break of the second half. Edgewater Castle lead 2-0. First Daryl Tercios, and then an own goal. Murtada Camille was there putting on the pressure. Great job, though, by the Rooks, defending that set piece. Cardano realizing to just boot it long down the far side. Andres Rocha got there, got his head up, hit a similarly long ball in the general direction of Alan Alonso. And there's some real karma in that, because Alonso is, of course, the guy who assisted what should have been the winner and the promotion goal last weekend. Excuse me, the weekend before last, and that was called back. So there is something fitting that Alonso once again is the guy who plays the square ball that this time is accidentally bundled into the back of the net by Rockford. And so now Edgewater have one job and one job only, and that is to see this out. DeGotti limping a bit, getting back over halfway. We'll see if he's subbed out here in the near future. Looks like another change might have been, nope, take that back. Thought somebody else had been subbed out. Cardano what this would mean to Edgewater Castle. What a year it has been for this entire club. The women's team with their best ever season. What does the future hold for them? How can they climb higher? The men's team looking to have a historic season. Enzo DeGotti has gone down in front of the fourth official. And the referees now is going to stop play, and we're going to get a substitution. And this is going to be a defensive one, and one that makes sense. Amir Abdullah, the Loyola Rambler, is coming in, as it looks like is Alan Rubio going to return. So this is certainly a defensive double change. Double change for Edgewater Castle. Leaving the match, number 11, Enzo DeGotti, and number 21, Lalo Aguilera. Entering the match, number 3, Amir Abdullah, and number 22, Alan Rubio. Extra center back, extra defensive midfielder on. So it's now Sampson, Abdullah, Benedetto, Santos, Cardano, the back 5. A double pivot of Rubio and Alonso in midfield. And then Tercios and Rocha in support of Murtada Camille. Looks like, though, it's actually going to be more of a back 4 with Roberto Cardano, just a defensively inclined left winger. Here is Andres Rocha. Is there a cherry on top in this game for Edgewater? And for this season, Rocha, Alonso, Tercios. So much to celebrate this summer for Edgewater. Is there more to celebrate tonight? Edgewater's women, the best team in their conference, the best team in their entire national league, the best team in the state. The men winning the state cup as well, looking to get promoted here in the Midwest Premier League. Andres Rocha, Lucas Sampson. That's a good step in the end by Amirani as the Rooks retreat here in the 87th minute. Bitangolo in the final minutes of his Midwest Premier League career. Out to Burleson. And that's straight out of play by Amirani. Looking at the Rooks bench to see if there's anybody else they could throw on. I suppose Nicholas Kanzak, who's also a defender, we could see him come into the game. They also have Franco Sovero, who played a few games for them last year, but just recently finished up a pro season in Dubai, in the UAE, where his team got promoted to the UAE top flight. Gulf United FC, 3 promotions in 4 years for them. So I guess that makes them Emirati Wrexham. Tercios goes down. Faba Yanis. But Kanzak as a center back would make some sense. David Balasse, the young Elmhurst University striker, has also made a couple appearances this season, but Kanzak would certainly be the guy who's gotten a lot of minutes, getting a final curtain call and an extra defensive body at that sub. If this holds, Edgewater will finish their Midwest Premier League summer slate 6-2-2. Amir Abdullah long down the far side. Cardano chasing. Cardano won the header. Here's Murtada Camille. Murtada! Save! Murtada! That'll do it. And the Rooks' all-time leading scorer scores the goal that books their ticket to the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference Top Division. Goal for the Rooks, scored in the 88th minute by number 9, Murtada Camille. Nobody more deserving of a big goal than Murtada Camille. He gets the yellow card for ripping his shirt off, but who cares? Edgewater Castle are going up. And you don't see that very often. They're going to say an infraction on the restart, and that means an indirect free kick for Edgewater. Can't remember the last time I saw that. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 89th minute to Edgewater Castle number 9, Murtada Camille. And Murtada was fouled, and a free kick. In the 90th minute, Edgewater Castle Football Club is going to take home almost every trophy they could have possibly won this summer, shy of the National Amateur Cups on both the men's and women's side. Benedetto fouled. Bougere is going to get a yellow. Got a foot in late there. And Sebastian Bougere in the 90th minute gets a yellow card as Quentin Benedetto is now down. And this is a question of, is the ref going to add on really any added time or not? Because this game as a contest is over, and it's not like anything's going to change in any meaningful way. 5 added minutes, we are being told. Never mind. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 90th minute. Correction, 2 yellow card cautions have been issued in the 90th minute, both to Sebastian Bougere of Rockford FC. And things falling apart here for Rockford. That's 2 yellows inside of a minute for Bougere, and he is out of the match. Yeah. So we've got confirmation of the red card. So Bougere is out. And this has a chance to be 4 if Andres Rocha can stick this in the top corner. Bougere isn't happy. He's not getting a whole lot of sympathy right now from Coach Brett Suheda. And we've got another yellow card out, as Cardano got a kick from somebody. And I'm not sure who that was given to, but Cardano just walked smartly. Roberto Cardano just walked away from this situation because this isn't about him. Referee just asking everybody to calm down here. So somebody else got a yellow. And the referee blows for full time. Edgewater Castle have been promoted. They are going up. They'll play in the first division of the Midwest Heartland Conference in 2026. Tonight's final score, Edgewater Castle FC 3, Rockford FC 0. Fans, your Edgewater Castle FC Rooks are champions of the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference Second Division. They are promoted to Heartland Conference Division 1 for the 2026 season. Stay tuned for a trophy presentation from Midwest Premier League Commissioner Sean Carroll. Well, a bit of an anticlimax in the end as the referee does the smart thing and say, to hell with the rest of the stoppage time, because nothing good is going to come of this. Only probably more red cards. And in the end, Edgewater Castle, you know, they're just in the habit of winning these last few weeks. The club, 2 conference championships, a national championship for the women, a state cup for both teams. So much hardware. 5 trophies going into a trophy case this season for Edgewater Castle. Congratulations to Doigu Erdogan and her whole staff, Sami Ismat, Carlos Landa, Stockton Mayer. I saw Jack Monson also been working as an assistant coach this season, among others. And here come the Edgewater players to be showered with flowers and serenaded by their fans in what turned out to be a really well-attended match tonight here at Edgewater Castle at Loyola. What a summer for Edgewater Castle FC. Quentin Benedetto's waving some people over. Lots of photo ops to come here. And now to present the trophy to the champions of the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference Division II is Midwest Premier League Commissioner Sean Carroll to Edgewater Castle FC captain Quentin Benedetto. And another trophy lift here at Hoyne Field. So special to have one of these in the summer. There's been 2 or 3 of these now. The Edgewater Castle FC Rooks are going up next season to the top flight of the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference. Once again, fans, let's hear it for your champions of the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference Division II, your Rooks. Edgewater Castle achieved promotion. They'll play next season with the likes of RWB Adria, Green Bay Glory, Chicago House in the top flight. And another photo op coming here with the trophy. It's funny that that's of the cups the club is one of the 4 now. This is the smallest of the 4, but no less meaningful to these players. And this club dating back to 2018. A couple of these guys were there for that. Murtada Camille, the longest serving member of this team, he gets a late goal in this game. So well deserved. Edgewater Castle could not have done much more across the men's and women's programs this summer. A pretty perfect summer in their first year playing here at Loyola. And what will next summer bring? Obviously on the men's side, it'll bring a more challenging league schedule. Can they avoid relegation? Can they stay up? Can they challenge for another team title in that division? On the women's side, they'll be UWS reigning national champions. Do they run that back? Do they look for bigger challenges elsewhere? Can they retain the state cups? So many questions, but exciting questions next season for Edgewater Castle. We're going to reposition the Midwest Premier League banner here a bit. Everybody turn 30 degrees to your left. And get Andrew Swanson, club founder and president, in on this picture. Give him that trophy. He's worked as hard as anybody for that silverware and for all the club has accomplished this season. Few extra flowers thrown for Andrew. Few extra pictures taken as well. And a big hug there for Doige Erdogan and the rest of the coaching staff. Fans, thank you so much for attending today's game and being part of a memorable 2025 season. Be sure to follow Edgewater Castle FC on social media and go to edgewatercastlefc.com to stay updated on what is next for the club. Again, thank you so much for coming out tonight and all season. Please get home safely. And with that, we'll start to wrap up the broadcast here. Whole bunch of thank yous to say. Everybody behind the scenes, Tyler Navas and the entire crew. Kyle, who's come in midway through the season, helped us out as well. Been a lot of fun, and those guys and a whole list of crew and interns and everybody else all required to make this summer possible. A big shout out to Andrew Swanson, to Tom Arneson, and everybody behind the scenes. Emily Woodrum, Arthur Beal, the entire front office of Edgewater Castle, to Doige Erdogan and Emma Woodley, the first team head coaches. What a season it has been. UWS Midwest Conference champs, UWS National champions, Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference Division II champions, Illinois State Cup women's champions, Illinois State Cup men's champions. So much to celebrate. I'm sure those celebrations will continue tonight and for weeks to come. But for the last time, I'm Alex Campbell saying so long from Loyola. It's been an honor to be on the call for so many of these games this season in such a historic summer for Edgewater Castle, both on the men's and women's side. Hope you've enjoyed our broadcasts. Thank you so much for tuning in all season long. whether in Chicago, across the country, around the world, here on YouTube. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have enjoyed bringing it to you. What a season, what a night for the Edgewater Castle Rooks. Can't wait for 2026. We will see you then. Thank you very much, and good night from Loyola.